Insomnia is huge today, and so is chronic fatigue syndrome. And they're separate, but in a way, they're partially linked because you don't feel very good if you have not had a good night's sleep. And I'd like to take you inside the cell to show you the main source of chronic fatigue syndrome. And if you will remember, when we looked at the cell, and we looked at the glucose going in, we looked at the 20-step pathway that gives us 2 units of energy, and then we looked at the 8-step pathway that gives us 36 units of energy. And the difference is oxygen. This pathway uses oxygen, this pathway does not use oxygen. So there's one cause of chronic fatigue syndrome, and it's lack of oxygen at the cellular level. And if you will also remember, we talked about nose breathing and how when you breathe in and out through your nose, the nose balances the blood gases. Another cause of chronic fatigue syndrome can be just simply not breathing in enough fresh air. So if there's animals in the home, especially in the bedroom, you are not getting good oxygen levels in the night. I was doing a live blood analysis one day on a girl, and I saw a parasite in her blood. And I said to her, "Do you have animals in the home?" She said, "I sleep with 4 cats every night." I said, "Well, look what they've given you." So yes, I'm not against animals, but please, if you have them in the home, have them on tiled or wooden areas and not in the kitchen, not in the eating area, and definitely not in the bedroom. Because they not only, yes, can give you parasites, but they can also inhibit the oxygen that you should be breathing in that air. So windows open as much as possible. Another thing that can contribute to chronic fatigue, and I've found this in about 9 out of 10 cases, is mold. But remember, it's not the odd day you do it and the odd day you don't. It's what you do every day that determines the health status of your body. So be mindful of the air you're breathing, be mindful of what you're eating, be mindful of how you breathe, be mindful of nose breathing, and also implement the exercise. And little by little, we find energy levels start to rise.
Welcome back. I hope you all are ready to uncover the surprising reason behind why you feel burned out all the time. If you've been wondering why no matter how much sleep or rest you get, you still feel exhausted and drained, you're not alone. Burnout is a major issue today, and it goes beyond just working too much or not getting enough sleep. Meet Barbara O'Neill, a renowned expert in natural health from Australia, who has spent over 40 years studying the root causes of chronic fatigue and burnout. In this video, Barbara O'Neill will reveal the hidden factors behind your constant exhaustion, and it's not just about stress or sleep. From hidden toxins in your environment to overlooked dietary habits, you'll learn what's really causing your burnout, and more importantly, how to reverse it. By the end of this video, you'll have practical tools to restore your energy, feel rejuvenated, and take back control of your vitality. But before we dive into the unexpected reasons behind burnout, let's take a quick look at how big this issue is today. Did you know that burnout affects over 50% of working adults worldwide? In fact, according to the World Health Organization, burnout is now recognized as an occupational phenomenon, but its impact is not limited to just the workplace. It's creeping into all areas of life, leaving people feeling more exhausted than ever before. Barbara explains that feeling burned out isn't just about pushing yourself too hard at work. There are subtle, but critical, factors in your daily routine that are contributing to your exhaustion. She starts by addressing a surprising but significant cause of burnout: toxin overload. Barbara O'Neill emphasizes that many people are unknowingly being exposed to a buildup of toxins in their everyday environment. From cleaning products to the plastics in your kitchen, these toxins gradually accumulate in your system, draining your energy and impairing your body's ability to regenerate. One major offender? Synthetic fragrances. Found in everything from air fresheners to laundry detergents, these hidden toxins disrupt your endocrine system and lead to chronic fatigue. According to a review in the Journal of Environmental Health Science and Engineering, researchers looked into the harmful chemicals found in perfumes and colognes and how they can affect our health. They examined several studies. The review identified several common harmful chemicals in these perfumes and colognes, such as phthalate, parabens, and triclosan. These chemicals can lead to health problems like allergies, asthma, issues with reproduction, and even some types of cancer. The authors of the review stressed the importance of being aware of these potential health risks. They suggested that companies should make safer products with fewer harmful ingredients. Overall, while many people may not experience immediate problems from using perfumes and colognes, the presence of these toxic chemicals is a concern that should be taken seriously.
All the environmental poisons that come into the blood and start breaking down the little endothelium cells that line the arteries. And we're exposed to so many chemicals today. It is estimated we're confronted with 100,000 more chemicals every year. Yeah. In our laundry detergent, in our toothpaste, in our shampoo, our skin cream, on our clothes, what our clothes are made out of, in our food. It's just everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. And these chemicals come into the blood, and those little endothelium cells that line the arteries, it damages them, damage. They're getting more built up. The person doesn't realise that sweet-smelling washing detergent, those chemicals are coming in, and little by little. Now, what I'm mentioning, it's almost like dripping tap on a stone. It's just a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit there, and it's all adding up. Because especially if someone has environmental poisons, quite a few stored up in their fat cells, and we find it in the farmer who's been using a lot of chemicals. We find it in the hairdresser who's been using a lot of chemicals. We find it in the cleaner who's been cleaning with a lot of chemicals. We even find it with some housewives who are using chemicals in their home. We had a pest control guy do our program, and I said to him, is it true that women can buy in the supermarket chemicals that you're not even allowed to use? He said, that's right. So we've got to go to the white vinegars, we've got to go over to the sodium bicarbonate. It's so cheap. But if you want it to smell nice, you can just put some eucalyptus oil or some lavender oil or some very nice essential oils that'll give a nice scent. So this need not be expensive. The natural cleaning products are very cheap.
So how can you combat the health issues and fatigue from such toxins? Barbara advises switching to natural, fragrance-free products and ensuring your home is well ventilated. Even spending a few minutes outside in fresh air can start to reverse the effects of toxin buildup. But toxins aren't the only hidden cause of burnout. Barbara goes on to reveal another factor that might be draining your energy without you even realizing it: nutrient deficiencies. Barbara explains that magnesium deficiency is one of the most overlooked causes of burnout today.
Magnesium is an incredibly important mineral in the human body. It's responsible for about 400 enzymic functions. Magnesium is very, very important in the heart because there are two minerals that cause that heart to beat. Well, there's a few, but basically these two. Calcium constricts, magnesium relaxes. And so an important part of getting proper heart health, especially if someone has high blood pressure, is magnesium. Magnesium is a water-hungry molecule, which means it absorbs water into itself.
Magnesium is essential for over 300 biochemical reactions in the body, including energy production. Yet, many people are not getting enough of it from their diets, especially those eating highly processed foods. Without enough magnesium, your muscles can't relax, your nervous system remains in a state of stress, and your energy levels plummet. According to a review in the journal Nutrients, there is a significant connection between magnesium deficiency and burnout. The review discusses various studies that explore how low levels of magnesium can affect our ability to cope with stress. One important study mentioned involved 96 American adults who reported having trouble sleeping, a common issue linked to stress and burnout. The results showed that more than half of these individuals were not getting enough magnesium in their diets. Additionally, those with low magnesium levels also had higher amounts of C-reactive protein in their blood, which indicates inflammation and stress in the body. This suggests that not getting enough magnesium may worsen stress-related problems, including burnout. The review also highlights that many people who experience stress may have a chronic, mild deficiency of magnesium. In some studies, nearly half of the stressed individuals showed signs of not having enough magnesium. This deficiency can lead to symptoms like irritability, fatigue, and sleep problems, all of which are also common signs of burnout. While severe magnesium deficiency is rare, many people may not be getting enough magnesium to support their overall health, especially when dealing with stress. The solution? Barbara recommends adding magnesium-rich foods like leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and avocados to your daily meals.
That in 2023, we can detoxify effectively and safely from those environmental poisons. And the best proteins are found in your plant proteins. Your plant proteins, it's very clean burning fuel in your plant proteins. You've just got to make sure you soak or pressure cook or slow cook and rinse very, very well those legumes and have some nuts and seeds every meal. My suggestion is have legumes every day, I do, and have nuts and seeds every meal. And fat. And the best fats are found in your nuts, your seeds, your avocados, and also a little bit through your olive oil and coconut oil. So these three essential food groups help the liver. They nutritionally support the liver to be able to effectively detoxify us from these fat-soluble toxins. There's one more thing I'd like to talk about, and that's Epsom salts. And Epsom salts is magnesium sulfate. And magnesium is a muscle relaxant. So if someone's stressed out, sore muscles, can't sleep, they can have a Epsom salts bath before they go to bed. Even put a couple of cups of Epsom salts in a hot bath. And remember, it does three things. It relaxes the muscles, and you might do it for aching muscles, you might do it for if you're stressed, and you might do it if you can't sleep, because magnesium and moist heat relax the muscles.
You can also try soaking in Epsom salt baths, as this allows your body to absorb magnesium through your skin, promoting relaxation and restoring energy. Another major, but hidden, cause of burnout is chronic inflammation. Barbara O'Neill reveals that inflammation, often caused by poor diet or environmental stressors, can lead to persistent feelings of exhaustion.
Another reason why a person may be lacking energy is an intolerance to wheat. Wheat was hybridized in the 1950s, it went worldwide in the 70s, so by the 1990s, all pasta, cereal, bread, biscuits, cookies, these are all made out of the hybridized wheat. And many people today are having it even 3 times a day, cereal and toast for breakfast, sandwiches for lunch, pasta for tea. That's really an overload of this hybridized wheat. And one of the symptoms of an intolerance to the wheat is fatigue. So eliminating that article of food. So people often say, well, what bread will I eat? You can get the spelt, or in Germany here it's called dinkel. Dinkel sourdough bread is a great alternative. That is very similar to the original wheat, and it has not been hybridized.
Inflammatory foods like sugar, refined carbohydrates, and processed meats cause your immune system to work overtime, leaving you feeling burnt out even after a full night's sleep. Barbara's advice? Eliminate these inflammation-triggering foods from your diet, and focus on anti-inflammatory foods, like berries, turmeric, and leafy greens. By calming the inflammation in your body, you'll not only feel more energetic but also improve your overall health. For a complete 30-recipe anti-inflammatory meal plan guide, check out the link in the description. And here's something you may not expect. The way you breathe could be contributing to your feelings of burnout. According to Barbara, many people unknowingly practice shallow mouth breathing, which reduces oxygen flow to the cells and limits energy production.
Next question. What is effective against chronic fatigue syndrome and lack of drive? Always in the case of sickness, we ascertain the cause. So to ascertain the cause, to find out what might be the cause of the chronic fatigue, you go right back to when it first started. And lack of energy is usually lack of oxygen at the cellular level, because when the cell has oxygen, it'll give you 18 times more energy compared to the cell that has no oxygen. What can inhibit oxygen coming into the body? Breathing through the mouth. We should be breathing through the nose, which purifies, humidifies, and warms the air. What else could contribute to it? Dehydration. When you're dehydrated, the cells can clump together a little bit, inhibiting the uptake of oxygen at the cellular level. So make sure you're well hydrated. Make sure you're breathing through your nose, in and out. Breathing low, slow, deep. That will allow more oxygen to get into your body.
As Barbara explains, nose breathing is key to maintaining the proper balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide in your body, which is critical for energy production. When you breathe through your nose, you increase the levels of nitric oxide, which helps your body absorb more oxygen and keeps your energy levels high. So, what can you do to reverse this habit? Barbara suggests practicing deep nose breathing exercises daily, especially during stressful moments, to boost oxygen flow and keep burnout at bay.
And that is breathe. So what you can do is do 5 seconds in, through the nose of course, long, slow, deep, hold for 3, that'll really guarantee carbon dioxide levels are right, and then breathe out for 5 seconds. Do that 10 times. And if you're still awake, do it another 10 times. And what happens when you breathe through your nose, in and out, and you breathe with your abdominal muscles, you stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system. And your parasympathetic nervous system is your peaceful, calming nervous system. Do you remember I said to you on the first lecture, everything we need we've already got inside of us? We've even got a way to stimulate a calming, peaceful nervous system, and it's that breathing 5.5 seconds in, hold for 3, 5.5 seconds out, deep, low, and through the nose. And often that will be enough to get off to sleep. And you can train yourself back into sleep. There is one thing that is guaranteed to stop sleep, and that is getting annoyed with the fact that you can't sleep.
Of course, sleep is a crucial part of recovering from burnout, but it's not just about how much sleep you get. Barbara reveals that poor sleep quality, even if you're sleeping for 8 hours, can be a major factor behind your exhaustion.
Sometimes not sleeping enough at night. We should be sleeping 8 hours a night, and ideally that starts at 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night. So lack of proper sleep can also cause the fatigue. In the summertime, it could be stretched to 10 o'clock at night. Value your sleep. And before I finish, I've just got one more thing to say. There are 2 very famous people who spent their last 20 years with Alzheimer's. And these 2 people boasted that they only needed 5 hours sleep a night. And one was Margaret Thatcher and the other was Ronald Reagan. Do you think that 5 hours was 5 p.m. to 10 p.m? No. That 5 hours would have been from 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, yeah? Which means they totally missed out on the cleaning system. And what the cleaning system does is it cleans the brain cells. And they have found in cases of dementia and Alzheimer's, they've got amyloid plaques built up on the front part of the brain. And those amyloid plaques are little calcified deposits. So if you're going to bed early every night, your cleaning system, which is your glymphatic system, it's actually preventing any build-up of amyloid plaques. And in this part of the brain is where we make our decisions, and our decisions determine our destiny. So that one piece of information alone is enough to get us to bed earlier, isn't it? I'm not claiming that it's the only cause of dementia or Alzheimer's, but it is a contributing factor.
One surprising cause? Electromagnetic radiation from devices like cell phones and Wi-Fi routers. These signals can interfere with your body's natural rhythms, disrupting your sleep cycle and leaving you feeling drained in the morning.
So if that does help you, just try and have it a little bit away from your bed, because it's the technology, the electromagnetic field that can certainly interfere. See, the electromagnetic field that's coming out of the technology is totally different frequencies to what is in our body. And that's part of the problem. That's why it's called the silent killer. How many people miss that early morning appointment because they go to bed too late? Why would people go to bed late? There's only one thing, isn't there? That is technology. And technology is probably one of the biggest, largest common denominator on why there is so much insomnia today. The sunlight gives off blue light. And what they've discovered is when that blue light hits the retina, there's a receptor site on the retina called melanopsin, and having blue light into our eyes through the day, it increases tactical reasoning, it increases the ability to solve mathematical problems, and also that sunlight in the day helps us to sleep better at night. Because remember, it's the light and dark signals that go through the optic nerve and influence that pineal gland. Technology has blue light. All the screens have blue light, but it's not the same blue light as sunlight. It's a different frequency, but it's similar enough in that In the night, if we look at our phones, the blue light affects the eyes where the brain says, daytime, wake up. That's why the best place to have your phone while you sleep is outside of your bedroom. So there is no temptation to pick it up. If you can't sleep and you look at your phone, you'll never be able to sleep now. Because the message is, daytime, wake up.
Barbara's solution is simple. Create a sleep sanctuary by turning off electronics at least an hour before bed and keeping your sleeping space free from devices.
So be very careful of the environment where you sleep, because we spend a third of our life in that room. And another thing to be mindful of is natural fiber in the bed. So it was a couple of months ago, I was staying somewhere and they had cotton sheets. I was very happy to see that. They had a cotton quilt, thin cotton quilt, and then they said, if you get cold, there's a nice warm fluffy blanket there. And as soon as I thought it was polyester, so I rolled it up and put it on top of the cupboard. I don't have any polyester blankets in my home. I have cotton or I have woolen blankets. So you'll sleep much better when you are surrounded in natural fabrics.
She also recommends switching to natural fiber bedding, like cotton or linen, to avoid exposure to synthetic materials that may disrupt your rest. So, as you can see, feeling burned out isn't just about overworking yourself. There are hidden factors all around us that are contributing to your exhaustion. From toxin exposure and nutrient deficiencies to poor breathing habits and sleep quality, it's important to address these issues if you want to restore your energy and feel vibrant again. By following Barbara O'Neill's advice, you'll not only reduce burnout, but also improve your overall health and vitality. Remember, small changes can make a big difference. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. And click the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest tips to improve your health and well-being. Thanks for watching.